Alright guys, so welcome to episode number 3 of the Your Product Research series, where I break down your products on the channel live for you to see and for everyone else to see to learn more about product research on multiple different products, so hopefully you can do product research better. Obviously this is all confidential, you'll not know what the product is, so don't worry about your product being disclosed or anything like that. It's completely confidential. I just hope that you can learn something from this. So if you want to get your product featured on the channel, hit me up on my email or join my Facebook group, the biggest one in the UK for Amazon FBA, and send me a message in there or just post it in the group and tag me, anything like that, to get hold of me to be on the channel. So go ahead and do all of that, and also while you're at it, why not subscribe to the channel, give it a thumbs up and comment on the video if you want to be in the channel. Anything like that, 100% appreciated. So with all that said, let's break down another product. So again guys, in this episode we have a different product ready, different from the last 2 episodes, and hopefully you can learn something new from this product, because as we know, every single product is different. So hopefully from this breakdown you learn something different than you have from the last couple ones. So we're going to do the exact same thing again, top to bottom and left to right, dissect this product and understand, is it a good opportunity or not. So starting off with the main keyword for this product, 7,338 search volume. Again, a very, very healthy search volume for your main keyword. Anything above around 2,000 searches per month is good, just to verify demand for that product if it is your main keyword. So very happy with this amount of search volume. So we can move straight on to the second line of results here. So we're going to look at all of these numbers here and decide, just based on these numbers, is it a good opportunity before we move down to these numbers, and then we're going to break apart that and see if that is the right decision or not. So total revenue 120,000. So I'm fairly happy with this number. Above 100,000 is preferred, so this is kind of the minimum where we'd want to be looking, in my opinion. Average revenue 2,461, so again above the minimum. I'd recommend of around £2,000 revenue, but like I say every time guys, if this is your first episode, the numbers that I recommend are completely variable. They depend on your investment. How much money do you want to put in? If you want to invest maybe £1,000 compared to £3,000, £4,000, £5,000, then maybe the numbers here you're going to be looking for are going to be different. But generally, the minimum I would say is around £2,000. So we'll move across to the BSR. Now, of course, BSR is the bestseller rankings, and it kind of basically correlates with just how highly your product is ranked in a category, which also relates to how highly averagely is it ranked for your best keyword. So if you've got a lower BSR, it generally means that you're ranked quite highly for most of the keywords related to your product in your category. So we can use this to kind of determine why certain sellers are doing well and why others aren't. If some have a really low BSR, showing they've got a good ranking among keywords, and if others have a low BSR, they're showing they're not ranked that highly, so maybe that's why they're not getting good sales. So we can use this to our advantage when we look at the individual sellers, but for now we're going to skip past the BSR and move to the average price. So an average price of around £28.50. So what I would immediately take away from this price is that it's kind of around the upper limit of where you'd want to go for. So I normally look for around the £15 to £30 mark. If you can find a product cheaper than that and still make a good margin, then go for it. There's nothing wrong with that at all. As long as it hits your numbers and it satisfies what you want to get out of Amazon, then all power to you. Enjoy it. But just for my personal targeting, this higher limit here could potentially mean that it's going to cost you a bit more to source this product. So maybe $6, $7, $8 to buy it from China. So you might have to just make sure you have a bigger investment ready for this product, because your stock is going to cost you more generally when the price of the product is higher that you're selling. So with that said, we'll move across to the reviews of the product. 172. So this is perfect. Anything under 200 to 250, depending on the competitor's listings, their product, what you can bundle, differentiate, because there's a bunch of different things that come into the competition of a product. The reviews is just one of them, but for that one aspect, this product is faring quite well with 172. I would definitely not mind launching a product with an average reviews of 172, but there's still a lot more to that story. You cannot just go off of averages, because you can have 10 people with 10 reviews and one guy with 5,000, and the average reviews is going to be a couple hundred. So again, this average kind of, even though it's a loose representation of competition, it doesn't really mean much until we look at the individual sellers, how they're ranked, how their sales are distributed, their listings, their product, their offer. A lot of things come into this you need to be thinking about when you're doing your own product research. But with that said, let's move on to the main information part down here. Of course, with the ASIN, the brand, the title, all blanked out because I'm trying to keep the product confidential here. So we'll go ahead and we'll start with the category of this product. So this product is DIY and tools. So nothing really wrong with that category. It seems that everyone is pretty unanimous in that the product is in that category. So that's completely fine. Nothing really wrong with that. And to be honest, nothing really to cover there. That's a perfectly fine category to go for. So we'll look at the delivery or the fulfillment here. So we have, disregarding the sponsored listings at the top, we have an AMZ listing, multi-fulfillment network or merchant fulfillment network, another merchant fulfillment network, FBA, another MFN, AMZ, MFN, MFN, AMZ, AMZ. So only really out of the top 20, only maybe 3 or 4 FBA listings. So obviously disregarding these sponsored listings up here. So is that slightly worrying to me? Yeah, it's slightly worrying, just showing that maybe this product is kind of like bulky and heavy. Because if it wasn't, then these sellers will probably be doing FBA. There's going to be a reason why they're doing merchant fulfillment network or fulfillment by Amazon, fulfillment by merchant, over FBA. It's generally because the product's too big, it's too heavy, it's too awkward and big. There's going to be a reason for that, and I can tell you just from knowing what this product is, that is the reason. It's because it's quite big and heavy. So it is slightly worrying that these people are selling that, but when we get across to the sales, we're going to see that isn't going to have much of an effect being FBM or FBA or even AMZ. Like, who's getting the most sales doesn't really matter which one you are, and how does that kind of affect your ranking? Are FBA sellers ranking lower? We'll see all of that in a minute. We can also look at the prices, because if someone is selling this product through FBA, they might tend to have a higher price because they're going to have higher shipping fees and storage fees on Amazon just for that bigger product. So we're going to be able to analyze all of this in a second when we come on to these sales, but it is slightly worrying just in conclusion to this column. But again, we can come to an end decision on that in a minute when we actually look at more of the information. So moving on to the price now, there's quite a spread of prices here. So we have one guy for £10, £28, £2, £16.50, then up to £30. One here for £13, £16, £28, £7. So from this product, what I can tell you is that these people are selling different sizes of this product. So there's a bunch of different sizes you can have of this product, and that's basically why all of these sellers are selling at these different price points. Now, when you find a product that has a bunch of different sizes, or say if you could sell 2 packs, 4 packs, 6 packs, what you want to do is you want to look at all the sellers. How much are they charging? So you say this guy here is selling at charging £28, and he's selling on £6,000 worth. This guy is selling for £16, and he's selling around a similar kind of price point. So you want to look how many sellers are selling, for example, 4 packs, how many are selling 2 packs, how many are selling 1 packs, how many are selling 6 packs. Look at their price, look at their reviews, look at their sales, and determine which one can you afford to be. Because if you're selling 6 packs, it's going to cost you more to buy a 6 pack than it is a 4 pack from your supplier. So can you afford to be selling 6 packs? If not, you want to be looking at the 4 packs. Now, with the 4 packs, how much are people charging for that? Can you afford to buy that product? If you can, how are the sales distributed? Are people getting better sales with 4 packs, 6 packs, 2 or 1 packs? That will also influence your decision on which one you should go for. If you see that people who are selling sets of 4 are greatly outperforming everyone else, you might want to go for the sets of 4. If you see that people who are selling bigger sets aren't selling as much, but they might be making more profit, then you just want to kind of determine where in this market do you want to be, and determine that from the sales and the rankings of all of these other sellers. So again, fluctuations in price, they don't really worry me because I know why that is. I know it's because they're selling different size sets. I know that's why these prices are so varied. So as long as you can understand why the prices are so varied like this, and it's not just because they've all got the exact same product, the exact same listing, that would be worrying. But because I know why that is, that's completely fine. I can decide how big a set I want to sell, and then go through with that set later, calculating the margins and all those things to see if it's viable. So we'll move across to these sales now. So for the top 11 set, I think it's 11. Yeah, so we'll go 11, 12 sellers here. We've got a big split from 100 sales all the way up to 1,000 sales. Now, obviously, you cannot make direct comparisons because they're selling different size sets. So normally, in most cases, the people selling smaller sets for a cheaper price are going to have more sales, but their revenue might be lower all the same. So it's hard to compare just the sales alone. But more often than not, we're just looking for a nice amount of sales for most people. So if this guy is selling 27, well, selling at 26, 25, is doing 200 sales, that's perfect. Then if he was looking to sell this product at £12, then you'd be looking at maybe double the amount of sales. So that's kind of the approach you want to take here. If we go to the top 15, we can see that this guy's selling £30, it's selling 180, which is again fine because he's selling at a higher price. It's fine to be selling less units. The only thing that's quite kind of worrying is this guy selling at £16 is getting quite a low amount of sales. This guy at £22 is also getting a fairly low amount of sales, and so is this guy at £28. So it seems that only these top guys here from 5 to 11 are actually getting decent sales. As you start going below that, the sales drop off drastically, where the majority of people aren't even getting 50 sales. So it looks almost like if you're not in these top, literally 5, from position 5 to position 12, if you're not in that top spot there, you're not getting any sales. Now, that is quite worrying. If we look at the BSRs though, we can see that the people who are getting good sales are ranked higher in the category. People who are getting worse sales are ranked much lower. So maybe that's why these people just have bad listings. Maybe they have bad products, bad quality. They're not ranking as highly. They haven't got good keyword research. They haven't got good advertising. There's a bunch of different tells here to why they're getting those low sales. But in general, it is quite worrying only seeing these top literally 5, 6 organic listings getting sales. So not something we absolutely love to see, but anyway, we'll move across to the sales chart here, just to understand how well is this product selling over time. Is it on a downward trend, upward trend? Is there any seasonality we need to be aware of? And we'll be able to tell all of that from these charts. So we'll have a look at this person here with 1,800 reviews, because obviously we always want to look at the person who has a higher amount of reviews, because they're going to have generally more sales history than someone who has 5 reviews. We're not going to be able to see much of their sales history if they've just started selling. So we'll go ahead and check out this guy's sales history over the longest period of time. So we'll select all time up here, and we can see that he's actually on quite a downward trend. So this starts from April 2018, it looks like, February 2018 there. So yeah, the sales are going down over time. Obviously, you've got quite a big spike here between January and August 2019 and 2018. We've also got a similar spike. So it goes down here around December, and then it also goes down here around the December kind of time. So we might see potentially this start to pick up, because you see February 2018, it's right down here. And then when it gets to around April kind of time, it boosts right up. So at the minute, we might again be seeing that exact same trend that repeated here going to happen over here. Obviously, it didn't happen in 2019 as drastically. So his sales were still kind of down around this time, and they came up a bit. But just something to look at. So maybe we're looking at a bit of a downtime here. So this could potentially be a good thing. If we're looking at the sales chart for like all these numbers here are monthly revenue. So if we look at the monthly revenue of February, when the sales are absolutely tanked and down low, what are they going to look like when it's in June, July, and they're selling at their best? So that could potentially be a good thing for us. But we'll check a few of the sellers just to make sure that assumption is correct. We don't want to assume we're looking at 20% less sales, and then it turns out we're actually not. So with this example here, again, starting from February 2018, his sales have just dropped continuously since then. So that is, again, something we really, really don't want to see. We'll look at another guy, make sure that that is not an outlier again. But I suspect we're going to see something similar here. So, yeah, again, in June, it looks like he probably went out of stock or something here, maybe. Then in June, July, doing very, very well. Here, probably gone out of stock again. But basically, over time, the trends still are down. So let's check out an FBA listing. See if that changes anything. So I don't think we've checked out an FBA listing yet. So this FBA seller doesn't have too much information for us to go on. Not a great deal. So maybe if we find another FBA seller, we'll be able to get some more information on this, guys. So recording these episodes, this is completely like just off the cuff. They may not be the most exciting thing to watch, but this is literally what I would exactly do if I was researching this product. So this kind of stuff is invaluable, because this is literally going to be exactly what you're doing. So this guy here, he's selling for £42. So I think he's actually selling a different product that isn't that relevant to what we're looking at now. So we'll disregard him for a second. And we'll just try and find an FBA seller that is selling our product. So yeah, this guy is. It doesn't look like he's doing a tremendous amount of sales, but we'll just have a look at his sales in general to see how he's doing. So he's doing a little bit better. He's obviously not getting the same sales volume as the other sellers, but at least his trends are consistent since February 2018. So again, if you was going to be launching this product yourselves, I'd want to check a hell of a lot more of these sales charts here. So we'll go for, I think we might have actually already done this guy down below, even though this is a sponsored listing. Yeah, so we've already done this person. But yeah, if you was going to be launching this product, you want to be checking, I would probably check every single one of these sellers, just because there's some uncertainty about the sales of this product and the trending over time, which that does slightly worry me, how it's dipping so much for most sellers. But again, unless you check literally every single one of these sellers, you couldn't really make an informed decision just checking 2 or 3 when there's so much uncertainty with this product. So just keeping in mind the timing of this video, we'll just move across to the revenues now. And if you was doing this product yourself, then you'd want to check all of these. So for the revenues, we'll look at the top 15 people. We do have actually quite a good spread, because as I said, when you look at just the sales, it's hard to tell who's doing well and who's doing bad because of the price differences. So 115 sales for someone at £28 is much better than 115 sales for someone who's selling for sort of £6. So if we actually look at the revenues here, they are spread quite nicely between the top 15 sellers. And then obviously once we get past the top 15, they do drop quite a lot. This guy is actually selling something different that's not really relevant. But yeah, they drop rather drastically. This guy's price again is like £88, so he's selling something different to what we're looking at. So if you're not in those top 15 sellers, from what I can see, you're not doing very well. Now, of course, these people could just have bad listings. They could just have bad products. They could just be charging too much for what they're offering. You see all the prices, as soon as you get past like the top 15, all the prices jump up quite high. So they could just be selling a different product altogether. This is something you would have to research in your own time if this was your own product. Look at the listings. Is there a reason they're not getting any sales? Is it because of their rankings? So if you look at their BSR, all of their BSRs are in the tens of thousands. So is it just because they're not ranking very well? They could have a good product, they could have a good listing, they could have all of those things, but they're just not ranking very well in that category. So that could be something you can improve. You could have a better launch strategy, better keyword research, and hopefully rank better. But from what we can see here, if you're not in the top 15 sellers, you're not doing very well. So that is kind of worrying. But then again, if you can get in these sellers, the sales are distributed very nicely, and that is quite a clean spread of sales. It's something I'd definitely like to be looking at. So BSR, you can see that everyone here, the people who are doing generally better are ranked higher, so they got a lower BSR. Obviously this guy's got a higher BSR than this person, but his price is much higher, so that's why the revenues are similar. I'm sure if he had a BSR of 2,300, these sales would be up 8,000. So as in terms of the BSR, there's nothing really that interesting here, apart from when you go lower and you can see all these people with such high BSRs getting low sales, which could be an explanation for their sales. But like I've been over many times, you need to look at their listings, you need to look at their offer to really understand why those sales are what they are. So looking at the ratings, a bunch of 4.5s. You can't really improve much on a 4.5 because everybody, no matter what you sell, you're going to get a few 1 or 2 star list. Oh, hello boy. You're going to get a few 1 or 2 star ratings. So if there's 4.5s here, generally you can't really improve on that because most people are going to get 4.5s, even if you've got the best listing and product possible. So not too much you can do about that. So we'll move on to the review count now. Now, the top 15 sellers who we've seen have a good distribution and most of the sales, they also all have mostly on the way to, if not over 200 reviews. Don't do that. Apart from these 2 people here, so 33 reviews, 31 reviews, that isn't too bad. That is fairly new, but you can see as well, they're doing almost around the least amount of sales, but also their BSR is a lot higher than these top couple guys, so they're just not ranking as highly. Maybe their product is exactly the same, it's the same quality, all those things, they're just not ranking as well. That could be a reason for that, but you want to check out their listings, their price, all of those things to really determine that full stop basically. So in general, for this product, I kind of have an idea of what I think about this product. I don't really need to look at much more. I think it's got an okay amount of demand. I think that the top 15 sellers are all doing quite well. In my opinion, the sales chart does worry me. I don't like how the sales are distributed. They're not very clean. It looks like it's on a downward trend, so that's not really that great. If I could choose what kind of size set I want to go for here, then that would be fine. For the price, I don't really mind this variation, but all of the MFN and AMZ listings, they do worry me. I don't care about competing with Amazon in any way, but just the fact there's hardly any FBA sellers in here does worry me about the margins of this product, the weight of it, and all those things. The reviews are quite high. I think it'd be quite hard to rank for this product in this top area, and if I don't get there, it doesn't look like I'm making any sales. So in general, even though the average reviews are quite low, the price is where I want to be, the average revenue is where I want to be, the total revenue is good, the search volume is good, I personally wouldn't go for this product. I don't like the sales trends. I don't like how many reviews there are, how competitive it is in the top 10 sellers. I don't like that no one below the top 15 has any good amount of sales. And it doesn't look like there's anywhere to improve. Everyone's got good star ratings. And looking at their listings, guys, I can tell you that all their listings are optimized. There's nowhere I can really improve on that. So that's my breakdown for this product. And if you send this product in, I'll send you the video. And I hope you've enjoyed the breakdown. For any of you who are just watching, I hope you've learned something about product research and how I break down products through this third episode. Now, if you're looking to sell on Amazon FBA in the UK and you're looking for a step-by-step program that shows you everything with step-by-step support, and with this beautiful boy here, check out the AZ Academy. First link in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Subscribe, comment down below, links, bell notification. I'll see you in the next video.